folks. My name's Jake Yeager. We have another colleague who will be joining us today. Her name is Amy Thurman. She was having some technical challenges, so she'll probably be making her way into the session soon. So she'll be leading us through a guided mindfulness session. And so we'll just kind of start off with some intros real quick, and then hopefully Amy will kind of make her way in when we're finished with that. So I can start. Jake Yeager, I'm an organizational development consultant at Navy Federal Credit Union in Vienna, Virginia. That's in the United States. And I am currently involved with the Harmony Mindfulness program at Navy Federal. It's an internal program that we're going to share more details about with you today. And I'm a mindfulness consultant and coach with the Harmony program. Harmony particularly interests me because it provides the opportunity to introduce our team members to mindfulness practices and their transformative kind of effects over time. I started mindfulness practice when I was in college. I wasn't in a particularly good place in my life and was seeking solace, and discovered mindfulness, and have just seen an absolute transformation in myself as a result of practice. And so find great joy sharing that with others. And so that's where Harmony comes in. And so I'll pass it over to my colleague, Kristen, to share a little bit about herself.
Thanks so much, Jake. So my name is Kristen Dickerson, and I am a project coordinator at Navy Federal Credit Union. And within the Harmony Mindfulness Group, I am a mindfulness consultant. So I go to different meetings and lead guided mindfulness sessions and advise others on what mindfulness is all about and how they can practice it and learn more about it. And for my own mindfulness practice, I started about 3 or 4 years ago as a way to help cope with anxiety and panic and depression. And it was just a great way for me to just gain perspective and recenter myself whenever things were feeling a bit too much. And during this time of the pandemic, and with so many people working remote and virtually, and stress being at all-time highs, that is definitely something that I want to bring to other people as a tool for them so that they can practice mindfulness and have their own journey and experiences with it. So they can gain assistance and gain help in whatever way that looks like for them. So I'm very excited to be here today to talk more about mindfulness with you all. And I can't wait to tell you more about our Harmony program. And I will go ahead and pass it on over to Miss Robin.
Thank you, Kristen. Hello, my name is Robin Martin, and I am an assistant manager in Navy Federal's contact center in a branch called Fraud and Digital. I'm also located in Pensacola, Florida in the United States. I serve as a mindfulness consultant within our Harmony program. So I also lead guided sessions in many different virtual settings and with different leadership audiences. And it makes me so happy that Navy Federal offers us the opportunity to bring this type of practice into the workplace. Where I work in Navy Federal in the contact center, it's a very fast-paced, ever-changing environment where stress is inevitable. And I have personally grown and learned so much about myself and others through my practice. And I enjoy helping others find their place and what it means for them. I particularly enjoy working with folks who feel they can't practice mindfulness, or for those that don't understand what mindfulness is, because I was once in that same boat and had a similar mindset. I've been practicing for a little over 5 years, and actually an app called Headspace really transformed my practice. It really opened my eyes and mind to a different way of approaching life. And mainly it hit home for me after my son was born, and I had experienced a lot of postpartum depression, also anxiety, and it was an anchor for me and has really brought me through ups and downs that life gives. And excited to see you all and tell you more about or share more about our Harmony program. and I'll pass it over. Miss Amy, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
We
We
can.
Audio? No, you can hear me?
We
Yes.
can.
Yep.
Oh, that is so exciting. Thanks. I've been having one of these days where the glitches in the technology are trying to win, but I'm winning now. So I'm Amy Thurman. It's my pleasure to be with you all today. I actually came to mindfulness through my yoga practice. I started practicing yoga in my mid-20s. Started for the work out, and then suddenly realized that it was for me a work in. And then in 2015, I decided to dive deeper into yoga studies, and I took my first 200-hour yoga teacher training, where I learned a lot of different meditative and mindfulness practices. And then in 2021, I decided to continue my yoga teacher journey, and I'm currently enrolled in a 300-hour course. So mindfulness has just been part of my life and sort of integrated. And one of the things that I love most about it is how it just kind of seeps in and changes how you live and just your way of being. And that's the part and the gift I want to give people at our organization, to be able to learn practices so that they can really change the way they think and their outlook in the world, if you will. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Great. Amy, I think we're at the point now we kind of did intros first. Why you were coming on board. So if you'd like to lead us through the guided mindfulness session, feel free.
Okay. Yes, it's my pleasure to lead you through a mindfulness meditation. So wherever you are in your corner of the world, please find a comfortable place to sit, or maybe even lie down. We're going to go through one of my favorite mindfulness activities. We're going to do a body scan. So whether you're sitting in a chair or you want to lie down, find some place where you feel comfortable and your body feels fully supported. So in this guided body scan, if you have not done one before, you will be invited to move your attention systematically through your body. So just follow along this guidance, noticing what's present for you moment to moment. Bring curiosity and a gentle acceptance to whatever you find. There's no right way to feel in this practice. However you feel is absolutely fine. You're not trying to make anything happen, and you don't even necessarily have to relax. Just simply becoming aware of what you notice as we move through the different regions of the body. So settle into whatever that comfortable position is, and do your best to stay alert for this practice, whether you're sitting or lying down. If you're sitting, letting the hips settle in the chair, feeling the feet on the floor, letting the spine be straight, but not stiff. If you are in another posture, letting yourself feel the contact with the surface that is supporting you. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable, or taking a soft downward gaze. Beginning by noticing that breath is moving in and out of the body. Now, narrowing your attention and directing it to your feet, exploring sensations in the toes, the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet. Becoming aware of any sensations in this area of the body, warmth or coolness, tingling, pressure, or the sensation of contact with a sock, with a shoe, or even just the air. You may not be aware of any sensations in the feet, and that's fine. Just noticing that there are no sensations. Simply being interested and curious about this area of the body. Chances are you will notice that your mind will wander off. This isn't a problem at all. It's what minds do. You might notice where your mind has gone and then gently and kindly bring the attention back to the anchor you're working with. In this case, the feet. Letting the attention shift to the ankles, the lower legs, shin bones, muscles of the calves, noticing what there is to discover in the lower legs. Now becoming aware of the knees, kneecaps, tendons and muscles, perhaps sensing tightness or comfort, or nothing in particular at all. Moving attention to the thighs, perhaps sensing the weight of the strong bones and muscles here, the contact with a chair or the floor. Simply noticing what's here for you in this moment. Letting go of attending to the legs and resting attention on the large bones of the hips, pelvis, tailbone, and buttocks. Noticing perhaps the sensation of contact with the surface supporting you. Moving up into the lower back, what's here to be perceived? Maybe tightness or tension, heat or coolness, pain or discomfort. This is an area where many people hold tension. So taking your time here and meeting what you find with friendly curiosity and compassion. Moving up now the middle and upper back, the spine, the muscles, and the bones that hold you upright, the shoulder blades, sensing the width and length of the back, learning to be with sensations just as you find them. Moving your attention around now to the abdomen, perhaps sensing the sensations of breathing at the belly or noticing sensations of digestion, of hunger or fullness. Noticing if there's any constriction or holding in the abdomen. Allow your belly to be soft. Each time the mind wanders off, gently bringing the attention back to wherever we are in the body scan. becoming aware of the ribs, the muscles in between the ribs, perhaps sensing the subtle movement of the rib cage as the lungs expand and release with the breath. Exploring the region of the heart, perhaps aware of pulsation or heat, or of the rising and falling of the chest as breath flows in and out. Becoming aware of the chest, sternum, and collarbones. What sensations are felt here? Moving attention now to the tops of the shoulders, taking your time in this area that sometimes holds tension, bringing curiosity to the shoulder sockets, the joints connecting the sternums to the arms. Letting go now of attending to the shoulders and directing your attention to your upper arms, elbows, lower arms, the back of the hands and palms, fingers and thumbs. Aware of the position of the hands and the sensation of contact with another surface of the body. Sensing into the temperature of the hands. What's here to be felt directly? Coming now to the region of the neck, the front and back and sides of the neck, sensing the muscles and small bones, noticing any tension, tightness, openness, or ease. Perhaps aware of the organs in the throat, organs that support digestion, respiration, speech. Shifting attention up into the head, sensing first into the jaw, maybe being aware of tightness or clenching in the jaw, chin, or teeth. Shifting attention to the mouth, lips, teeth, tongue, the roof of the mouth, the sides and back of the mouth, aware of any sensations of warmth or coolness, moisture or dryness. Becoming aware of the nose, perhaps sensing the streams of air flowing in and out of the nostrils, noticing the cheekbones and the skin muscles of the face. Shifting attention to the region of the ears, the ability to hear in this very moment. Noticing any sensations in the outer ears and the inner ears. Attending to the eyes, the bones around the eyes as they rest in the sockets, eyelashes, eyebrows. Noticing the forehead spanning across from one temple to the other, aware of any tension or smoothness. Bringing awareness now to the head itself, the tiny muscles of the scalp, the bones of the skull protecting the brain. Aware of the sides of the head, the back, and the crown of the head. Now inviting awareness to the entire body, from the top of your head to the tip of the toes, the front of the body, the back of the body, the sides of the body, sensing your own skin. Simply resting in the awareness of this breathing body. No need to do anything, just being with the body exactly as it is now. As we come to the close of this practice, appreciating that you have taken the time to pause, to attend this event, to cultivate your capacity to be more fully present for your life and to replenish yourself in this way. Gently opening your eyes or lifting your gaze as you become ready, taking a moment to gently move or stretch as needed, bringing this awareness into this moment and the next moment and the rest of the moments of your day. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Amy. That was wonderful.
My pleasure.
All right, so we do have a little slide that we want to share with you guys that we're going to go through, just introducing you to our Harmony group. So Jake, I'll let you go ahead and get that up on the screen. Perfect. So we are here to talk to you today about Harmony, which is a purpose-driven, self-organizing mindfulness program. And I do just want to mention before we fully get into this that we are happy to take any questions that you may have. Please feel free to drop those in the chat and we will address them as we go along. So please be engaged and involved with us as much as you would like. We're happy to have discussions. And so we'll go ahead and go on to the next slide. So we are here today to inspire and better equip you to cultivate mindfulness and self-organization where you work and play. And I'll be very clear from the start that we're not here to sell you anything, but simply to show you how we've implemented mindfulness into our organization and share some of our key takeaways throughout this process, what we've learned, how we've grown, what's worked for us, and how we've set this up along the way. So for this presentation today, our agenda will cover the context and history of introducing Harmony at Navy Federal, all about the Harmony program itself. And then, as I mentioned, some of our successes and opportunities, areas where we're eager and excited to learn and grow, and what we've learned along the way. So a little background about Harmony and Navy Federal itself. Navy Federal is a traditional top-down financial services company, but with a mission focus. And we are currently going through a digital transformation led by a female CEO and COO. And our company is more progressive than it's ever been. And so it is very open to Harmony Group as a whole and very welcoming to this program that we've introduced. Navy Federal itself is divided into about 15 functional business units, including customer-facing and back office roles. And Navy Federal is made up of 25,000 team members spread across multiple geographic sites. That includes Virginia, where Jake is, Florida, where I am, even overseas at some of our international branches. In current state, 75% of our workforce is currently working remotely due to the pandemic. So there was definitely a need, and it was more important than ever that we have a way for everyone to connect and be brought together. That is where Harmony Group came in. Harmony Group began with 4 team members from organizational development, wellness and mortgage innovation. And they developed the mindfulness program because they wanted to build a culture of mindfulness and support team members' well-being, especially during the height of the pandemic when stress and anxiety and this feeling of isolation was at an all-time high. And so this program was kicked off in the summer of 2020 as a 3-month pilot with 125 members solely in our field mortgage division. And we have since scaled this out to include more departments and many more team members who are involved. And that was largely due to the positive feedback that encouraged us to scale this program across Navy Federal. There was a need and a desire for this. People were positively reacting to this program, and there was a lot of excitement and engagement around it. And so we scaled this out by exploring different possible scaling models, including a top-down centralized approach and decentralized scaling approaches. The decentralized approach ensured that team members who were managing the program were passionate about it. It afforded low visibility so we could iterate and learn quickly, and we would be safe to fail. We could try new things and learn as we go. And it also gave us optionality. If we ever wanted to pivot to a top-down approach later on, we had that ability to do so. And so moving on to the next slide, Harmony's purpose, as I mentioned before, is to help team members enhance their well-being and performance through mindfulness, which is more important than ever as we are in the midst of this pandemic, working remote from home and seeing record high numbers of stress, anxiety, and burnout. And so we wanted to provide our team members with those tools and that support that they so desperately needed in order to be successful, both professionally and in their personal lives as well. And we did this by focusing on the values that we set up as the purpose behind Harmony program. And those values, there are 5 of them. The first one being community, which is actually one of Navy Federal's values as a whole. So it felt so important to tie this back directly to our program. And we focus on community by helping others without expecting anything in return, by being authentic and honest, and by practicing compassion and respect for others. The second value being focus. We continually prioritize what creates the most value. We seek out and we integrate any feedback that we receive, and we work towards a shared vision and purpose. The third value being freedom and responsibility. We bring up issues and opportunities that we want to move forward with, and we make commitments and we honor them. This program is completely on a volunteer basis, so it was so important to us that the people involved with us are here because they're passionate about it and because they want to be, and that they're making this commitment of their own free will, and they're excited to see it through. And we also have the right and the responsibility to go where we need within Harmony Group to maximize our learning and our contributions to the program as a whole. Our fourth value is kindness. This group is a safe space for all walks of life. Everyone is welcome and treated equally. We choose words and actions that are meaningful and creative. We meet people where they are and we accept them without judgment. And we give and we receive support unconditionally. And our last value that we focused on for Harmony Group is trust. We make everything transparent and available. Everyone knows what is happening behind the scenes, irregardless of what their role is within or outside of the group. We welcome everyone just as they are, and we commit to an open discussion of ideas without fear of being judged. Moving on to the next slide, the products and services that Harmony Group has brought to Navy Federal. The first one being training courses. These are facilitated for our leaders and recorded so that they can play that back on their own time when it's convenient for them, or maybe whenever they're just finally ready to learn more about mindfulness and Harmony Group. We want this product to be available for them so it's ready for them when they're ready for us. And it's also going to be available and ready as we continue to roll it out to other business units and expand our program as well. We also offer live and recorded guided sessions, very similar to what Amy just led us through. These sessions last anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. And again, we do have 3 of those sessions currently that are offered live every week. And then we have recorded sessions that our team members can access on their own time as well. We offer coaching and consulting. Our consultants are invited to the meetings to speak about mindfulness and lead guided sessions to continue to introduce this to others. We also have a happy half hour. This is something where managers send out a calendar invite for the same time each day during which team members can practice mindfulness. This serves as a reminder and it helps shift the culture to making this part of their daily life. We also have inspirational communications. One example of this is a dedicated chat space that we have that currently has over 200 members in it, and where team members can just share motivation with each other, best practices for mindfulness, encourage one another throughout the day, and provide inspiration to their peers. And it really is such truly an amazing company and definitely inspiring to see. And the last product and service that we currently offer is feedback surveys. We are regularly touching base with our audience to make sure that we're catering to their needs and adapting with internal and external environments to make sure that our product is the best that it can possibly be. So now that I've spoken a little bit to Harmony Group's history and how we've implemented it at Navy Federal, I'm going to pass it over to Jake so he can tell you a bit more about the structure of Harmony Group as a whole.
Great. Thanks so much, Kristen. And so I'm just going to speak real briefly about some of the roles we have in Harmony. And so as Kristen mentioned, the entire organization is volunteer. People are able to participate and engage to the degree that they would like if they're interested and available. We currently have 4 identified roles within Harmony, which you see here. I won't go into detail on these roles right now, but if you want to learn more about them, we can certainly chat about them during the Q&A. Finally, team members can serve multiple roles. So for example, I currently am a mindfulness consultant and coach with Harmony. And that just affords individuals the choice to really take on those roles that are most meaningful to them, whether it be because they maximize their skills and knowledge, or they provide developmental opportunities. In addition, we have team members in Harmony who we call harmonizers, who are doing roles that really aren't defined here. For example, we have a team member who is particularly savvy with analytics and data. And so she is working in that vein. So there's additional flexibility for team members to really find their niche in Harmony. And so now just want to talk a little bit about the organizational structure in Harmony. And so invite you folks to share, what do you notice about this structure? And feel free to come off mute, or if you want to put in the chat, feel free to do that too. But what do you notice? Anything that you notice here? And again, feel free to come off mute, or if you want to put in chat, that works too.
I think just that it obviously doesn't look like a ladder, a hierarchical ladder. It's in a circle where the steering team's in the middle.
Exactly. Yep. So it doesn't look like a hierarchical ladder. It's more circle-based with the steering team in the middle. Thank you so much. Anybody else have anything that you notice about this organizational structure?
I'm guessing that the value to any given business unit it's kind of indicated by this diagram, but you said you're constantly looking for feedback, so you get to find out by speaking with people in that business unit what value are they getting and how widespread is it and so on.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Newt. It's very spot on. We try our best to stay as close to the customer as possible, and to really integrate feedback that we receive into our services, so we're continuously improving. Yeah. So thank you so much, folks, for sharing, and you're spot on. And so it is a very flat, non-hierarchical kind of structure. So it's not, I like to say it's not triangle based or pyramid based, but circle based. As a result, nobody reports to anybody else within Harmony. And so it's a very decentralized structure. As you see, there are 4 teams on the exterior. These are the functional teams, and they consist of individuals of the particular roles. And then we have the steering team in the middle, which serves to help guide the strategy of the organization. And so we are still a pretty small organization. We have 20 team members in Harmony. And so we make steering teams completely open to anybody in Harmony itself. So anybody can help to impact the organization. And Robin will be speaking about that next. Trying to think if there is anything else I wanted to share. I think that one final thing I'll mention about the org structure is the operations managers are essentially almost like business owners who work directly with the business unit customers to determine what Harmony products and services to deliver. And so you see that they're organized by business unit here. And so that's really how we localize the decision making and really make sure that we're getting as close to the customer as possible. And so with that, I will pass it over to Robin, who will talk about the steering team.
Thank you, Jake. So our Harmony group implemented a steering team as an opportunity to bring together all members of Harmony twice monthly. Everyone in the program is invited regardless of their role or position. We use this setting to bring the entire community together, the Harmony community, together to provide support, guidance, and make directional decisions on next steps. As with all things related to our program, this team and the recurring meeting is completely optional and never a requirement to attend, although we do encourage. We begin each meeting with an optional check-in from each team member, allowing those present an opportunity to share how they're feeling and anything else that may help them be more present, which is normally vastly different from a large majority of the meetings that we're used to. We also end each meeting with an optional check-out to ensure all of our harmonizers have been given an opportunity to share their thoughts and ideas. As the name implies, the steering team guides Harmony and ensures we're steering ourselves in the right direction that aligns with our purpose and values. Anyone can raise a topic, and we encourage conversation and ideas. During each meeting, we invite a scribe to take notes, which ensures our backlog items remain up to date, and it also helps with our sprint items for any actions that we would like to prioritize. We also use a highly collaborative group decision-making process called 5-fold consent. This process allows input and participation from a lot of people without bogging down the process by trying to gain consensus. It invites, honors, and integrates all individual perspectives and is intended for true decision making. Also, taking action on a sprint or an agenda item is not mandated. Harmonizers are able to basically raise their hand and volunteer for what they're able to take on when they're able to take it on. Our internal communication and collaboration tools can be seen here. We truly understand, the importance and value of having strategic communication, and this is how we facilitate most of the work that we do. We are very transparent, and anyone who wants to learn more about Harmony or how we operate can. We are always open and accessible. Information is not tied up to certain people or certain roles, going back to the circle idea from earlier. For instance, the handbook wiki that you see here is an open living document where anyone can come to better understand the ins and outs of the program. We utilize WebEx Teams for group messaging to quickly communicate a wide variety of information. We created a mindfulness community space where Kristen touched base on earlier, where Navy Federal employees can voluntarily join and receive information regarding weekly sessions, mindfulness resources, sometimes just a motivational quote, and also provides a vast support network. We often use Mural in meeting settings for a thinking canvas. It allows space for a real-time visual collaboration. It uses sticky notes, flowcharts, voting features. And in addition, we also use OneDrive and cloud-based files to house and make sure our resources stay up to date and in sync. And I will now hand it over to Amy. She's going to talk a little bit about our internal pilot and the results of that data.
Hello again. So we actually piloted the program at a really integral time within the organization. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic and right during a time where our organization was receiving a lot of refinance and new mortgage requests. And that particular area within our business was feeling a lot of pressure to perform, as well as to figure out how to do all of this work at home and do it remotely and not in a business setting. So it was sort of a perfect storm of a cry for help, really. How can we alleviate some pressures and some of these feelings of overwhelm and burnout? We had been simmering this idea of Harmony in the background, and we're able to bring it forward to this business unit, our real estate lending business unit, and pitched it as a pilot with their leadership team, who agreed that they felt it would be worthwhile to help bring a sense of calm, perhaps, even if it was to a small group, to part of their organization. So we began our pilot with them, and it was rolled out to a few hundred people. And we started off with the mindful, we called it the weekly dose of our mindfulness sessions. Then we worked in several different elements just to kind of augment the program, some training, education pieces. We worked in the happy hour, the happy half hour that was noted previously. We also worked in a panel of the mindfulness consultants who came in and gave people some tips and answered questions on starting a mindfulness practice. So we really tried to work in several different angles to really hook people into the program and kind of expose them to what mindfulness practices can do. At the end of the program, we did survey, and we found out that 92% were satisfied or extremely satisfied with the program. really enjoyed the elements, and some of them commented that it really changed their workday, that it had such an influence that they could tune into these things during the day, that it really reset them for the rest of the day. And so that was very satisfying to hear. 88% said they would actually recommend the program to somebody in the business unit or elsewhere, which was a really good statistic to hear, as we had intended to roll the program out quite broadly within the organization. And we took a business unit to business unit approach to that. So again, this was our pilot. So we were really curious to see if people would really engage with it. And 54% said they started a regular practice as a result. And as many mindfulness practitioners know, that when you first learn something new and you're trying out meditation, it can take discipline. And so the fact that 54% decided to exercise that discipline and really move into the practice, we also felt was very satisfying. Really great results from our real estate lending team. And then we decided to present it to other business units, including our human resources department and our contact center. Our organization has quite a large contact center, and we began approaching different teams within that business unit. What's been really great is that there's been a network of people who have heard about the program, who want to be part of the Harmony program, who are in our chat groups, who started asking us and kind of knocking on our door, hey, can we get this in our area? So it started to organically grow. And that has also been, once again, a very satisfying thing to see. I think I saw some questions flash up on the screen, Jake. I don't have access to them, but if you want to read any of them right now, I'm happy to try and answer them.
Sure, yeah, so we have a question from Christine about the stats themselves. And then we have a question for Robin from Newt. So maybe we'll do the stats question right now, since
Okay.
And we'll pass it over to Robin. And so Christine asks, was there any learning from the other 8%? And so Christine, I think, is referring to the 8% who indicated that they were either neutral or not satisfied with the program.
Well, most of the 8% were neutral. And we had one person who just philosophically couldn't get behind a mindfulness program. So for whatever reason, they felt like it went against their own values. And that was, and we've worked very hard to make it a very non-secular experience for people. We intend to be as inclusive as possible. So that was a takeaway. Another thing we're doing is going through a facilitator training course through an organization called Mindful Leader. They have a course that offers a workplace facilitation for programs like this. And our goal, again, is to be very inclusive and use language that's comfortable for everybody. So, so that was one of the takeaways. And the people that are neutral, we'll just keep inviting them, and hopefully they'll see the benefits. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So the feedback that we've received is strong. This is just a really nice quote that we wanted to share. And some of the successes and opportunities, just to piggyback off of what I was mentioning, we've noticed a lot of successes that have been, again, big wins for the organization and for our employees. We've had 3 huge rollouts. We're about to embark on our 4th in our branch operations department. You can go ahead and click through, Jake. So right now we're serving over 7,000 employees. Our main way is through the weekly doses or our mindfulness sessions. We have noticed a wonderful sense of collaboration and creativity. One thing to note is I've been with the organization for 20 years, and this is the first time where mindfulness is really coming to the forefront and not only offering it as a life skill, but as a new way to work. So in terms of the Teal organization, it's really opening people's eyes to another way of getting work done. And I think that's a wonderful serendipitous thing that's happened that's exciting to watch as well. Some of the challenges can be executive support. We do have wonderful front office support, but our organization is really large, and some executives are more inclined to have this in their business units than others. So we spend some time coaching. I've mentioned that we pitch the program internally. We also invite a lot of executives to our programs to experience them themselves. It's very huge when we get an executive who has a lot of influence, who wants to bring this program into their organization. And we just learned that one of our contact center leaders is going to incorporate this deeper into a well-being program for that area. So that's very exciting. It being a volunteer effort, sometimes our regular jobs just completely take over. So it can be difficult to find time during the day to get the work done. But fortunately, it's work that we're really passionate about, and we're able to kind of run the program on that passion, and people can really pick up where other people left off. So we have a lot of numbers that really help us. But again, ideally, we would have some full-time positions to help carry the program. But I do think the volunteer initiative really makes it special, because the people who are there really want to be there. And also, we always like to increase utilization. So we can get a really nice uptick when we initially launch a new weekly dose timeframe. But occasionally, the numbers drop off and only a few people attend. So we're looking at ways to remind people that, hey, this is here, this can help you build a practice, and we can just about promise you it'll change the rest of your day. So really looking for ways to increase that utilization. That can be an opportunity for us. So here is our contact information, and I think I'm supposed to hand it over to somebody else. Of course, we would love to hear from you.
No, you're good, Amy. It's just our contact info. Feel free to contact us at any time. We'd love to hear from you if you want to chat, or if you want to let us know about something we might not know about that might help us. We'd love to hear that too. Yeah, and then with that, just want to open it up for any Q&A and discussion. I'll stop sharing my screen. And so if you do have any questions, let us know. We did have a question from Newt. Want to make sure we get to that. And that was for Robin. And so Robin, I don't know if you've seen that or not, but Newt was asking, actually, well, I'll let Newt ask himself if he wants to come off mute.
Yeah, my question is just about people. I think you said, Robin, some people will say that they cannot practice mindfulness and that you've enjoyed working with those people. And I was just curious what the kind of reasoning is that leads people to say that.
Yes, thank you so much for asking. What I've found in exploring the education and really kind of training, especially in the workplace, when the idea of mindfulness comes up, there tends to be a lot of stigmas and misunderstandings about what it is. And oftentimes when someone hears meditation or mindfulness, they have an image in their mind, maybe of someone sitting crisscross with their, fingers in a certain shape, trying to bring calm. And so some of the feedback I get when I introduce the concept is, oh, I can't practice mindfulness. My brain just never shuts off. Or I don't have time to sit and meditate. It's not worth it. because generally there's an idea behind it that we're trying to change something, where instead we're trying to actually not change anything, but instead just be more aware of our current state and of the thoughts, and come to a place of accepting what is, regardless if we feel it's bad or good. And I particularly like talking to those folks because I can relate. I used to have that kind of thought process where I was like, oh, mindfulness, yoga, y'all are weird. I had a completely other idea. And then when it personally changed my whole outlook, and I was like, wow, I had a completely skewed idea. I find myself, it's almost like a challenge. I'm like, okay, tell me what you think about, mindfulness and what it means to you. And when it doesn't match to what it actually means, I give that as an opportunity to really connect. So that's kind of where I was coming from earlier.
Got it. Great. Thank you. That totally answers the question.
You're welcome. I'm
just noticing time-wise, amazingly, we're at 12 minutes off the hour, and I think officially we were meant to be moving to the stage where we invite people to go to the spatial chat if they want to carry on talking about this. So that's just a heads up to everyone in terms of the timing of the day. And I'm also noticing in chat there's a couple of comments as well from Christine.
Well, just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. It was really a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you to Newt for moderating. Really appreciate it, Newt.
My pleasure.
And feel free again to contact us if you have any questions, or if you just want to chat. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks so much again, everyone.